welcome back for another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. You can find the guys at facebook.com/superfunpodcast, on Twitter at superfunpodcast, and on patreon.com/superfunpodcast. Email them at superfunpodcastgo@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go! I'm hosting tonight. My name's Ralph DiStefano. DiStefano is all you need to know. Yes, that's a thing. I'm keeping that going. Next to me here is Mr.
Baby Cakes Hamill,
as I call him, Ham Jam Hamill. Harry?
Just Harry.
I'm Mad Clark.
Mad Clark?
Why
He's
are you
always
mad?
And Steve. Just Steve.
Just Steve.
Just Steve. Bitches.
All right, tonight we're reviewing Max Payne 3, or as I like to call it, Max Payne 3. The story of a man who had nothing to lose, and nothing but pills and booze, and went yada yada yada, and shot a bunch of people in really slow motion, and then he shaved his head, and it was great at the end.
You started the rhyme and it was so good.
Sorry.
Stop rhyming.
Sorry. I tried. All right, so initial thoughts. Gentlemen, please.
Well, first, do we want to plug the Twitter, Twit-Twat, the Books of
Twit-twat.
Faces?
How
and
could I
our
forget
questions?
the Twit-Twat? You're absolutely right. So please, look us up on Facebook.com, Superfun Game Review Podcast Go, and also on Twitter at Superfun Podcast. You can't miss us. We're 5 idiots in multicolored pictures. You'll love it. All right, so let's spin things on their head. Let's go over to Steve for your initial thoughts.
I have never played any of the Max Payne, to the disappointment of my friends. So this was brand new for me,
We're all
and I
disappointed.
was actually really looking forward to see what the fuss is about, even though I'm coming in at number 3. But better number 3 than number 2. Da-da-da-da-da.
We're all disappointed.
What?
Da-da-da-da-da. It's great. I like it.
Yeah.
I played this game years ago when it first came out. I was a huge fan. I actually bought the collector's edition of this game way back in the day when it came out. And yeah, I was excited to get back into it.
Harry?
Yes. So,
You look dead in the eyes over
Harry. Harry, do tell. What do you think of Max Payne 3?
there were a lot of things I liked about the game. I like how that they still have the traditional feel of it, the diving through the air, the bullet time. I will say, though, I do miss the gritty feel of New York from the earlier titles.
Dark, winter, snow.
Exactly. I thought that was part of the feel of the game, and it was very bright going into this game, and very blurry, which I'll get into later.
Blurry. Were you playing on a PS1 again on a high-def TV?
We'll get to it.
I don't know how you would do that. That'd be amazing if you played it on the PS1. Baby cakes?
Hey. So the third one I wasn't ever going to play, but I was forced to by gunpoint and pain pills and all that. First one I really liked. Second one, didn't want to get into. And then third one, forced into. But it wasn't as bad as I thought.
You really sound like we held you down and made you play this game. Like we
I said by
superglued your hands to the controller and put the eye things on you from Clockwork Orange and made you play this game.
Good reference. I love that.
Right? And we fed you all the amphetamines to keep going.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went down.
Yes. And you beat it in 30 minutes flat.
Pretty
Incredible.
much, yeah. Well, I had to.
That's how long it normally takes them to beat it.
I set you up for that.
You did. I had to play it in installments because my Xbox decided to be a little prick about things, and the power box kept overheating.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
God damn it! It kept overheating, so every time I played for like an hour and a half, I would have to unplug it and throw it outside in the cold. So that way it wouldn't...
That does not sound like a good idea.
So that way it would not overheat and burn the house down. Because it kept putting on a red light, and I thought I bricked it at first, but it kept working, so...
I also had an issue with my Xbox.
What was your issue?
This is the reason I bought a PS3.
I have a PS3 as well.
Same.
But yeah, on my Xbox, I got back to my house after work and went to...
It was missing. Somebody stole it.
So then I got out both of my Berettas and I started hunting them down.
Oh, God.
No, I tried to eject the disc, and the disc tray wouldn't come out of it. So I had to take the entire faceplate off, take the actual full casing off, and there was a little plastic piece that broke that was sticking and holding the thing together. The
Ouch.
disc tray.
I blame
Can
Microsoft.
I also say I had problems with my Xbox.
Oh
as
my
well.
God! It's an
Really?
epidemic.
When I was playing off of the disc originally, and it was like super grainy. I would get like I don't know what the term is, but there'd be like specks of green light all over the screen, and then it would just like lose signal to the TV.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the in-game like
Yeah, 'cause
design
there's a
of the
lot of-
look and
No, I
the
know.
video
And
effects.
trust me,
I
I'm
thought
gonna
you were
get to that.
Yeah. I thought that's what you were going with.
But
Okay.
I eventually had to switch Xboxes and install the disc to the hard drive to actually get it to function correctly.
Fuck.
So it was a pain in the ass.
I mean, I just played it on Steam and it worked like a dream.
So much Max Payne.
But yeah, so my initial thoughts, because we went all over the place there for a minute. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to Max Payne. I didn't play the first two games when they initially came out. I completely overlooked them. I had heard of Max Payne. I'd seen footage of it, thought it was cool, but I never had a PC that could play it, and then I didn't get it for the 6th generation. I got Max Payne 3 first, actually, and I played the first 4 chapters, I think, and by the 4th chapter, I was like, you know what? This is pretty good. I'm kind of liking it. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to play the 1st and 2nd. So I got them pretty dirt cheap on Steam, played through them, really enjoyed them, and then came back to the 3rd one for the podcast, played it, and I might be in the minority here, but I actually really enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's move right on into game development.
Game development.
Who's got notes on game development? I know that the first 2 games were made by Remedy, and then I believe the first game sold something like 7 million. The second game came out, and it didn't sell nearly as well. And Remedy sort of, went to the wayside. I don't know that they were still making a lot of games. Then it was eventually bought by Rockstar, and Rockstar spent 9 years, or it was 9 years before they released the 3rd game, and it had multiple delays where it was pushed back. I think it was like winter, and then summer, and then winter again, and then it was finally released in 2012.
Yeah, it was pushed back a few times. Remedy was even trying to be consultants for the 3rd game. They got to consult a little bit on.
They got to insult?
No, they got to consult a little bit.
Consult?
Consult.
Is that a word?
Consult.
Consult?
Consult?
Consult, yes. Consult.
Harry, just going through an evolution.
Chop, chop, chop.
Consult.
Oh my God. Let's contemplate the consult. On your Xbox 360 console.
All right, let's remedy the situation.
Oh,
jeez.
Okay.
I'm gonna stab you.
Clark, where were we? Go ahead.
So they got to work on the game a little bit, but they didn't get to really do as much as they wanted to initially. And from what I was reading online, they were saying that they actually want to make a 4th game.
Really?
But Remedy wants to do it. They're trying to not necessarily buy the rights from Rockstar, but they have told Rockstar that if they do decide to make a Max Payne 4, they would like to work on it. As
Well, I'm
opposed
down
to
for that.
just
I don't know about you guys.
70-year-old Max Payne Walker and all.
I would actually be down for a 4th game. I'd be interested to see where they would take it.
They need to take it back to New York.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Hamill, you don't have any Did You Know Gaming facts that you wanted to throw in there from Max Payne? 1, 2, 3, anything?
Offhand, no. No.
Oh, I got some other stuff, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, Clark. Go ahead.
So there is a page that you collect in Alan Wake that is it's the voice actor for Max reading this. Is it called The Hard Fall, I believe?
Oh, I forget.
It's something in there where he's reading it and you can kind of tell it's like, instead of this weird horror book that Alan Wake is writing at the time, it's just a few chapters where it's this gritty detective noir type novel, and it's read by the Max Payne voice actor.
Private Dick Justice reporting for duty. I was trying to find her in the brothel downstairs, but she was nowhere to be seen. A cold trail of blood led out the back door into the dumpster. She was gone.
Speaking of Wake, I forget his name. It's not Alan Wake, but there's I forget the guy's name. He works for Remedy, and his last name is Wake. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Is he the guy that the likeness for Max Payne for the first game was taken from?
Well, yeah, he was because their budget was so low.
Sam Wake.
Sam Wake.
Thank
that's
you.
it.
Yeah, Sam Wake actually did the poses, and like in the original Max Payne, he was the Max Payne in the comic strip.
Wasn't he also a writer? Did he write part of the story?
I think he was
Yeah.
very involved.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
first.
He was a little bit involved.
I know him very well.
So
fucking involved.
So actually, the motion cap for Max Payne has been 3 different people, and the last one is I believe it's
Kiefer Sutherland?
No, it's
You
James.
sure it's not Kiefer Sutherland?
It is not Kiefer Sutherland.
I think it's Kiefer Sutherland.
It's James McCaffrey or McCafferty.
James McCaffrey.
Who?
It's the voice actor.
No
They
shit.
finally made him Max.
Hmm.
I guess because they just like lined up finally because he was older
Okay, yeah.
doing the voices and things like that.
Great voice actor, by the way, but we'll get to that
Yeah.
later. Other thoughts, gentlemen? Other developmental notes?
I thought this game took a long time to come out. I think it was close
9
to-
years.
Yeah, 9
Yeah,
years.
I'm
He
pretty
did
sure it's
just
9
say
years.
9 years, but that's okay.
So it's
If you're
9
listening
years,
to
huh?
this-
9 years!
9?
No Good, the Bad, and the Ugly fans? You guys don't like the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? No? Just me?
Your references are lost on everybody. I'm sorry, Ralph.
It's okay.
Watch it, though. Anyway. 9 years, Harry.
That was all I had. Long time. 9
Slow
years.
clap, everybody. Slow clap. Thank you, Harry. All right, let's get over to Hamill. What do you got for development, Hamill?
I don't got
Ralph,
shit.
you were peeking a lot, just to give you a heads up.
I'm peeking a lot.
You were on that last.
I got 4 episodes to catch up. I'm going to peek a lot tonight.
He's gonna be peeking all over your face.
Pika, pika.
I've got nothing for development.
Oh, okay.
I-
I didn't like assign it or anything, so you're good. Yeah, I just
Okay.
thought that maybe you had something to say. Okay.
No. I even looked up VG facts, and the one thing involved the game, like actually involved the game. It was like Chapter 9, something happened. So nothing on my end.
I mean, I got one more thing. In GTA 5, you can actually make Max.
Yes, you can.
Using Michael.
Yes, you
You
can.
do the bald with the beard. You use the Hawaiian shirt, and he'll wear the khakis with the Hawaiian shirt.
Get the hell out of here.
And he has some of the same mannerisms. Michael has bullet time in GTA 5.
That is really
Yeah.
interesting.
I did actually pick up on that when I played GTA
That's
5.
cool.
I picked that
Yeah.
up.
I thought it was a cool little homage to it, and I came upon it naturally, actually.
Naturally.
Just by playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm a customization whore when it comes to games. Like straight up,
You're just a whore.
I
That's all I
spend-
caught.
Thanks. Fuck you guys.
I didn't say anything.
I actually spend a lot of time customizing things. Like just anytime there's customization, I will meticulously create.
So how many hours out of your Skyrim playthrough was customizing the character?
Not a lot because I've been playing with mods.
Oh, nice.
I pretty much made Thor though, which was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah,
That
that's
is cool.
Makes
So,
sense.
do you guys think Bryan Cranston got any royalties off this? Because it totally looks like Breaking Bad the second half of the game.
So you mean, do you think Max got royalties from Breaking Bad?
Which
No,
came
Bryan
first?
Cranston, because didn't Breaking Bad come out before 2009?
That's harassed.
2012
Thinking
is when
that
the
all
game
bald
came
people
out.
look the same.
Harassed?
You're a prick.
Harassed.
When
I
did
just made up a
Breaking Bad
word,
come
Ralph.
out?
Go fuck yourself.
I mean,
That's our thing. That's
I
our
really
catchphrase.
honestly think in Breaking Bad he only has a full beard for the last 2 seasons,
Yes.
which is after Max Payne.
What's
Well,
his character's name again, Harry?
No.
What's that?
What's his character's name in Breaking Bad?
Walter White.
What?
Walter White.
I thought it was like Heisenberg or something.
Oh yeah, that's his nickname.
Okay.
It's his nickety name.
That was a plug for you to be like Heisenberg
Oh,
or something.
sorry.
But it's okay.
You,
No
you
big-
tried,
Say
Ralph.
my name,
You did try it.
Harry.
Oh, that's right.
Very. Just a heads up, if anybody says very tonight, I'm just going to break through and go, very,
The bullet time was very fun.
very fun.
And I thought that Max's face was
Very.
You didn't even let me get it out. Hold on, I'll take it out.
Look away.
All right, we're completely off
Ralph,
topic.
put your dick away.
We're completely off topic.
Oh, wait, was I supposed
Yeah, you
to
should
look at him?
really corral us back to
Yeah, right.
back
Ring
to
us up.
reality.
Well, I'm peeking. All right, let me get my lasso here. I'm going to throw around hammy cakes. She's
No,
going
we
back
did
in
not
the
play
pen.
Red Dead Redemption.
Well, actually, that's funny that you say that. That is a great point because in terms of the gameplay,
Uh-huh.
which is the next point, the gameplay,
Oh.
I actually
No,
thought...
Little break.
Whoa.
Graphics,
What
music.
happened?
You're right. I don't even have story written down here.
Story.
I'm the host with the most, babe.
Who did you just call babe? You have to specify.
All
Me.
about
I'm the
Call me,
host with the most.
please.
Steve.
Please.
Steve's
Oh,
babe.
Yes.
I'm the host with the most. The game picks up, and the first time you install the game, first time you play it, it goes seamlessly straight into the cutscene, and it's just Max monologuing and his slow deterioration from being mostly sober, which Max is mostly all the time, into a drunken mess of pills, and I think it's King Kong, like whiskey
Just
is what he
Kong.
drinks, or
Yeah,
just
Kong
Kong?
whiskey.
Just Kong whiskey is a nice touch, I like that. If you're up to date on the story, you know that Max has lost his family, he fell in love with a hit woman, I'm not gonna say hit man, a hit woman,
Could be
and
a man. We're not biased.
and she ends up dying. Spoilers, she ends up dying in the second game. So his whole life has been this big, long, bad road, and he just starts sinking, and there's all these weird filters.
Sorry, I'm over here smirking. I
You
thought
are
he was
smirking a
about
little
to
bit.
say Barry, and I was waiting for
Oh,
it.
you ruined it. I
Jumping
gotta stop
on
looking at
it.
you. I don't even know where to start now.
Wiener.
Venus.
He was saying he was deteriorating because of all the loss he's had over
Right.
the years.
So basically, Max just starts to get really, really low. And that first cutscene, if you're up to speed on the story, I think it's pretty impactful and is definitely one hell of a way to start a game, to have a cutscene like that you can't skip and just go straight into. It sets up the tone and the mood for the entire game. What did you guys think in the beginning of the story?
Coming as a fresh newbie to the entire series, I knew there was a lot of things that I really missed. And they started kind of coming along where, obviously, you know, dead wife, dead child, and the kid was alive for, what, like 1 year? I think when you saw the headstone, I forget.
Yeah, still in a
which-
crib.
Yeah. I forget which cutscene it was, like further down when they were in the cemetery. You can obviously tell that this guy's been through a lot. And, yeah, he's self-medicating pretty hard. And not to mention, every time you grab a bottle of pills, he has something to say about it.
Oh, I think it was a nice touch to the game, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no,
Yeah.
it was definitely where even coming off of not playing the other ones, I know I was missing some details and some backstory. It still had, at least in the beginning, enough for me to kind of be like, okay, well, we're trying to piece this together, at least where I'm coming from. A little later on in the game, when you're dealing with the Bronco family and everything else, it started to get a little weird. Like, why are you actually doing this? Are you being paid, but you're saying you haven't been paid, but you're still have this vendetta? Is it like your own personal pride? I found it engaging in the very beginning, and then it started to lose some focus a little bit in the middle, and then it picked up a little more at the end, at least for me, and not knowing any backstory.
It did feel like they were trying to. They had the ending in mind, and they're like, "All right, how do we get here?" And originally, I thought what they did, like the levels and everything, were really cool. But then I was thinking about it. It seemed like they had a meeting, and they were like, "All right, let's think of the coolest places we can have gun battles. Now let's try to fit the story into those places."
I could see that.
Yeah, because it was like, all right, a stadium, a nightclub. You're going to be on boats. I was surprised we weren't hanging onto an airplane at one point, but we were at the airport going through luggage claim.
True.
We hung on to a helicopter and had to do some upside down shots.
That
I
is
think.
true. So it just, and like, the story seemed like it was starting, and then, like you said, it kind of petered off. Yeah, I said Peter. And then, and then it did kind of try to pick it up at the end, which I didn't like the way to get into it was, all right, now we have a hospital where we're cutting people apart and using these parts to put them on other people, and people can buy that. I'm like, what fucking left field did that come out?
Seriously, okay, so I wasn't the only one with that. It's like, well, I'm a doctor. I'm like, okay, you're doing your shit, but why is he here for any of this?
I will say that was like a super deep, dark turn when it was
Oh, yeah.
harvesting organs. I like, generally speaking, the story was kind of dark. There was a lot of death and everything, but just going down that route, just, I don't know. It's a little much.
Yeah.
A little bit, but they did preface it by you see the people being taken out of the villas and putting back into the paramilitary vans. It's like,
You don't know why,
well,
yeah.
you're going down and you're just playing the game, but in the back of your mind, it's like, I wonder what's actually happening. And then you find out what's happening. It's like, all right, so that's where I'll give them some credit, where sometimes it seems like they're just throwing stuff out there just to be, different. And then they actually do tie it back in. And any type of storyline, like loose ends, were pretty much tied up for me by the end of the game. I can say that.
So that's actually a real issue in Brazil with paramilitary troops and things like that. Like that's
Harvesting organs?
yes, harvesting organs for corporations and selling them and stuff
We
like
have
that.
that slave trade, everything else. I mean, we're having a fun video game review podcast. We can start.
I understand, but when you say
Go!
I understand that, but when you're saying that's coming out of nowhere, like that's the place that he's in. Unfortunately, like Brazil is like dark and gritty. Like Sao Paulo is like one of the most dangerous cities in the world. Like,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah, take the kids on a vacation. It'd be
and
nice.
that gave them some freedom in the story to go there with that stuff. And like, yeah, a lot of it is for like the shock factor and things like that. But it's interesting to see him like kind of go there, like PMC paramilitary stuff. Too often in games, it's usually like, oh, you're like an army ranger, or you're a, it's something that they do in Metal Gear a lot too.
God damn Metal Gear.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
when you say PMC, I think of Metal Gear Solid 4 to start, but yeah, you're right. In general, when it comes to the story, the haphazard nature of the entire game, including the video filters, which I know we'll get to, the story really does jump all over the place. Like, you're in the beginning, we jump to the end, and then we have a series of flashbacks and flashbacks and current gameplay all tied up and mixed in. And in terms of the story, I don't have any issue with Max going to Brazil. I have absolutely no problem with him going there. I know that the first two games are dark and gritty and set in New York, and that's sort of, when you think Max Payne, you think that film noir kind of thing. Since it had been so many years, new generation, new company, they want to take him to Brazil, put him in a Hawaiian shirt, shave his head. To me, there was no diminishment taking Max Payne out of New York, which, I don't know, it could have been stale if that's what they did again. I think that the way that the chapters are structured and the fact that we go back to New York at least 3 times, maybe 4. I don't remember if you guys know offhand.
I think it was like 2 or 3. Yeah, I thought it was 2.
Well, there's the opening where you meet what's Max's buddy throughout the whole thing.
Passos.
Thank you, Passos. He meets Passos in the bar. He shoots the mob. The mob
kid. I think that was my
son.
favorite.
Yeah,
chapter
I
in the game.
really
That was
liked that.
Was it really?
good.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I have to agree that the New York levels were probably the best. I actually wouldn't have minded if they stayed in New York
Same.
and made another thing. Yeah. But I understand too, like, why they would send him to Brazil, why he would leave. Like, I really like Max as a character. He's very dark and depressed, and it's something that I just like relate to because I, have had problems with depression in the past. So it's just something. It's something that's always drawn me to the character himself.
Do you kill a lot of people, Clark?
No, I've never killed a single person.
Not out in the open or on recording.
By chapter like 13, I started to think to myself, from game 1, 2, and 3, how many people has Max Payne killed single-handedly? My God.
Now, I will say, I think you really like the character Max Payne because I think he's very similar to the Punisher. And I think you have a
Frank
liking.
Castle, Max Payne.
I'm just saying, they both lost their families. They
Yep.
both take
Yeah.
justice into their own hands. They're not
Vigilante
they don't have
justice.
any superpowers. You know
No,
what I
they're
mean?
just a
Yeah,
man.
I mean, if you look at my Blu-ray rack over there too, you'll see I love revenge stories. I like the idea of revenge, as terrible as that sounds, but like I always think it makes for an interesting story.
I didn't think Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella were revenge stories. Clark.
Oh, you actually don't see those over there, but you see.
I don't know. I
but
think I see
seriously,
a Disney logo.
Look, you can see like John Wick is like right there. That's
Wick's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's all about revenge.
Yeah, but like this one, I didn't feel as much of a revenge as more as, okay, we're paid to do this.
So
yes.
so here's the thing with that, and how I see it. This is Max's redemption. The whole second half of this game is him doing it for himself
Max
to
Payne
prove that he is
redemption.
not a total failure.
I'm not a
Like
total
that's
failure.
why he's going after people when all the money's gone. That's why he's trying to save people. It's his redemption to be like, okay, I've killed thousands of people at this point, but I can save one at least.
No, funny thought in regards to that though, because there was a whole group of people he was trying to save at one point, and it was just a diminishing return. One person at a time would just die off, and
The family?
Not
It was
very
so
good at his
bad.
job.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, but I could still save these two. Oh, I can still save this one." Just
I actually wrote down here because like I took notes pretty much to like midpoint in the game when it actually turned into what it was.
You mean
but-
when Max becomes Harry Bowles?
Pretty much. But I have written down, so pretty much nothing I did mattered because the wife got shot, the guy you were protecting got shot, everybody died. Now, this is
The
the
brother
part,
got burned alive in the tires.
yes,
and
and this I
all
have a
that.
fucking
Jeez.
problem with because it was you go to save her and there is no indication that the brother and the sister are going with you, like going to do whatever. It was just like, okay, so we forgot to add in that they were going to do some kind of side thing and go, so let's just have them there and just fucking throw people off. That I was like, why the fuck are these guys here? There was nothing to indicate whatsoever that they were ever going to be there.
Oh, you mean when the kidnapped wife, like Max is like essentially right there to get the kidnap, and then it, like turn a corner, and for whatever reason
They're both there.
they're both there, and then she ends up getting shot. Right.
Yeah. It was like, okay, we're gonna kill her off, but then what's his point of continuing? Let's throw the brother and the sister in there too, just to keep it going.
no.
They were there to pay the gang
The ransom?
for the wife.
Yeah,
Well, they
I
didn't
know
do a
that,
good
but
job.
they
I'll
didn't.
say that.
They like at no point mentioned that until the time of, and I really, I felt like it was really lazy to do that. I just felt they're not mentioning they're going there. They could have even had some kind of video where he's walking out and the brother. The younger brother is talking to someone saying, okay, we need to redeal this drop, kind of as a, he heard it as he was going, like something to indicate at all that this was happening. Because it was just out of the blue. They're like, oh yeah, and then they tried to do the drop again.
No,
I mean,
can I speak real quick?
No.
So in regards to that, like I know you're saying it was very unplanned and
No,
just
Harry.
like spontaneous in the story.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about Marcel for a moment.
Who?
The one character who was
Marcello.
Is it Marcello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
guess I just dropped
sorry.
the O.
Marcello's the brother that's like nothing but he does coke and
Yeah,
bangs
he's
women.
the-
and
he's like
rips
the
her off.
party
The
boy boy.
black
The
sheep
dipshit.
of that family.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
He's
right.
the dipshit.
The
brother.
dipshit guy. Yeah, him. Yeah, I know you.
Yeah.
mean.
So, okay, there's a couple. I think he was a very important character, not just for the story, but okay, he is the ultimate contrast to Max Payne himself. And I think they put them side by side to really differentiate the two and show Max Payne as a character how extreme he is.
Hey, Max, we've been through some scrapes, huh, Max? Don't you think? Huh? Yeah. yeah.
But I mean, like,
Yeah.
he's a party animal. He's lighthearted. He still has, like, hope in his life. Max Payne is, like, the complete opposite of all that. And I think they wanted to include him as a character to really, what's the word?
Wait,
To really
he-
pronounce Max Payne's character.
So he had a lot of hope as he was a drug dealer and got a boat full of people killed?
No, I'm not saying
That
hope
is
there.
my favorite level, I think. The Panama level with
That
the
was
boat. I
so
like
good.
Full
that.
of hope in life, Harry.
Well, no. Oh, no. At that point, okay.
Hey, I'm full of hope and life. Where's the cocaine? I need to bang this chick. Okay, great. Let's go.
Hawaiian cheese party.
So, no. An additional point with that. Why he was down there trying to pay off the gang, I think he was making reckless decisions because he had a thing for that girl.
Yeah.
I
He-
picked up on
yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
I picked up on that he was trying to. He was either sticking the salami to her already, or he was trying to.
Well, yeah, even in the second chapter, he was
His brother's wife.
going yeah, exactly. He was
Right.
going up to Max Payne and even said something subtle like, "You know, Max,
I
think
love
I'm
a
in-
girl. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in love with the wrong girl," or something
Yeah.
like that.
I
I
honestly,
love her,
the
but
woman
she's
that I
in love
can't
with
have.
the wrong man.
Yeah.
I honestly thought for a little bit, for the first couple chapters, it was going to turn out he was gay. Because he was the party going out with the sisters all the time and doing all that. And then
That's a stereotype if I ever heard one.
well, okay. But
Just trying to throw you off, Emily.
You're
But-
gonna get Max Payne tonight, Ralph.
it like he goes out with all these women at a couple points he's supposed to be sleeping with these women and he's not. They're somewhere else getting shot or killed or whatever. Like on the boat he was trying to get that one girl in his room, but no, she's in the pile of bodies with everybody else.
I think you mean old woman, but I know what you mean.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
Don't discriminate.
Ageist.
Like fine wine.
Well, there's a drop. Okay.
Another point before we get off Marcello, and then we can not talk not talk about it in the rest of the night. There was a scene where him and Max are and the two girls, after I guess he dropped them off with a helicopter or something like that. They're on an elevator, and Marcello makes just some stupid ass joke to Max, and Max just turns around and he's like, "Yeah, that's really funny," without like batting an eyelash or cracking a smile or anything. Just like how subservient he is to this family, just like whatever it takes just to appease these people.
Doesn't he remark something like he's like, I have to admit, like his charisma like got to me a little bit or something like that. Like I think he basically is like, look, he's an idiot, he's a dumbass, but he's like a likable, he's a likable jackass essentially.
He's like the village idiot
Almost.
Like Harry.
Poor Harry. You didn't do anything to deserve this, Harry.
No, be careful. He's going to completely shave his head and then put on sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt, and then we're all dead. Great. Either that or he does the job just like Max Payne, and then...
I know you make fun of my age, but once I put on that Hawaiian shirt, I'll have time on my side.
Oh, my God.
You mean bullet time on your side? You butchered that joke.
Oh, old.
The room was dark and dank. 4 victims lay full of bullet holes on the floor. One was missing, a bald man.
Speaking of old, happy birthday, Clark.
Happy birthday, Clark!
Happy birthday!
Thanks.
Clark's birthday, part of the Max Payne 3 story.
Yeah.
All right, so any other thoughts about the story, guys? Or I feel like we're not even close to done with the overall story.
I just have little bits and pieces, like the pop-up, or I don't know if this is considered story, or I guess that would be gameplay. So.
Pick a topic.
Okay, so wait. So, like, I did like the fact that, like, I play everything with subtitles on because I just have a hard time hearing everything.
I do the same. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when everything was in Spanish and I could get bits and pieces.
Portuguese, actually.
Portuguese? Okay.
Yeah.
When it was in Portuguese and I could pick up a word or two, and I was like, all right. I love the fact that they did not translate it or give you a bit of what they were talking about, because that kept me in the world of, okay, I'm in a place that I don't get and I don't understand what's going on or what they're saying, where I know somebody else could probably play that and be like, I know this is coming up because they just said it.
Yeah.
Well, it adds to the immersion. You taking on the role of Max,
right.
He doesn't know the language either. You don't know the language.
Exactly.
So it
and I
adds
really
to it.
enjoyed that. I thought that was a cool little thing.
When are you guys going to understand that I don't fucking understand you?
And then he shoots him in the dick.
Yeah.
Did anybody else think that in the first half of the game, before he went Walter White, he looked like Hugh Jackman a little bit?
Nope.
Especially with the new Logan trailer out.
No, I know what Hamill's talking about.
Is Hamill getting paid on the side?
Logan, guys!
Shameless plug for Logan. See you next Thursday.
No, it was just, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, okay. Fox is slipping you some bills. It's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't really pick up on the Hugh Jackman thing.
No, I didn't really see it either.
No.
I got it a little bit.
Now, I will say, as far as his look goes, with like the shaving the head and everything, I think that was kind of a Rockstar taking it from Remedy and saying, you know what, we want to design Max the way we want to, and not just piggybacking off of Remedy's old ideas. We're taking over this franchise. We're going to define him to show this is who Max Payne is now that we own him.
They made him their own. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what they did there.
And it serves as a plot device to show that he is going to get his new start, because he stops drinking at that point.
His new start.
That's true.
That's when he stops drinking as well.
Could we talk about his new start? Because I do love the fact that he like goes through this cutscene metamorphosis, right? And he goes like straight into the slums. He gets robbed, and then he has to walk into a bar. And he's like, "The irony was not lost on me that I had to walk into this bar and beep bop boop." I thought it was really funny actually, and I mean he stops drinking, I guess, but when we say drinking, we think of, at least when I say drinking, I think of alcohol. To Max Payne, I think having a brew, at the beach in the final scene, I guess that doesn't count as drinking. Drinking is like his 4th bottle of Kong whiskey and a full bottle of painkillers.
Yeah, some of those scenes were intense.
Yeah,
Just
right?
like, fucking stumbling around in that dirty ass apartment.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you really got a great feel for interior design, Max. What is this? Why do you live like this?
Yeah, anybody get the secret ending where he OD'd in chapter 3?
The whole
Secret
thing's just a
ending,
fever
huh?
dream.
The secret ending.
Yeah, the game just stopped after chapter 3.
And he was in Silent Hill the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bringing it all around.
But you know what? Also, with
my
the
air
whole
Sounds like a wildebeest.
with the whole new start thing, they even have you change the disc.
Oh, yeah, that is when you switch the disc
Yeah,
over, too.
it's like, all right, new start. You're going in disc 2. This is a whole new Max Payne we're dealing with here. I took notice of that too.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
So,
cool.
Steve, before you
Before
left,
final thoughts.
yeah,
We'll do that.
before you left, we were talking about how like new Max Payne, like everything, and then I brought up you do the disc change when he shaves his head, stops drinking, and they almost have a like whole new start for
Really?
you. Yeah,
See, that's something that I would really appreciate. But when I've been playing on a PS3, so it's just all one fluid disc. There was only one disc for it.
A fluid disc.
well,
Fluid
fuck.
disc,
Liquid
yeah.
discs.
Liquid disc.
A liquid disc system.
Gaseous.
So did anybody take note when you're playing in the I guess the flashback chapter?
Yes.
Max Payne had 5 locks on his apartment door.
Yes, I,
I think
did
I
notice
did notice
that.
that.
I'm just saying, like I think he's been through so much shit at that point.
Yeah.
Just bolted up.
We know it's because he doesn't have a lot of valuables in his apartment. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of that exact like chapter, do you guys have any thoughts or feelings about like the crazy war veteran that like built a bomb and was stalking Max?
Fucking
Like,
awesome.
He had all those.
That's something I did want to ask you guys. Did he pop up at any point in like Max Payne?
I can't
1 or
remember
2?
him in Max Payne 1 or
But
2.
there was a lot of heroin.
I would not be so sure to say no. I actually think he is in 2.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because I believe it's the same apartment that Max is in.
It seemed that way,
In
yeah.
2.
But I didn't remember. I didn't remember him.
He said he had known that guy for like 12 years.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it's
that's
possible.
what led me to believe there was a little more behind his story, and for the fact there's some crazy war veteran. Well, crazy is a strong word, but yeah, he had
He
a bunch of
blew
explosives.
himself up.
He was
as
a
a
fucking
suicide
hero.
bomber.
He was awesome though.
No, he was awesome, but
Oh, yeah.
I'd say he's crazy.
No, and definitely I want to know more about his character. If, he was actually in.
You want to
one
get
of the
intimate with
previous
His name was Steve.
Oh, good start. Tell me
But
more.
I don't know if I don't know if you guys actually went into his apartment, but if you do, you go in and see that he has a lot of newspaper clippings, like the backstory to fill in from Max Payne 2 to 3, where it shows like hero cop fired or whatever. Like
Yeah.
you go in and
Yeah.
you see that
Yeah.
that he's been like following Max's story for a while, and it seemed really odd that they would have this short cutscene, kill him off real quick, and take all the time and effort to do that whole room, because the other doors don't open, obviously. It's a very linear game, but this room was completely rendered. It had the full trimmings. So this was a point that they were trying to make, and I felt like I was lost on me even playing the first games.
It's almost like they kind of wanted to show like Max had some like at least one person who believed in what he was doing.
Yeah.
And this guy was literally willing to kill himself to get Max out of there and to help him out. And it was almost like this guy knew his purpose was, at one point, I'm going to have to help Max out. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm going to be waiting for it with my bomb vest here. Let's do this.
And no
He
pants.
did it.
And no pants.
That's the way I would want to go out.
Well, yeah, you can't put your pants on if you hear gunshots and you're waiting the whole time for this. You just got to get your vest on and get going,
Well,
That's right.
You could try to take the time for your pants.
It
but
doesn't matter. You're blowing up. Your legs are going to go this way, your head that way. You don't need pants.
Might as well scare
More
them a little bit.
aerodynamic without pants.
You just put it in the little hole in the middle of your underwear and swing it around and then blow yourself up. You're good to go.
Like a dynamite nunchuck.
I found my life goal.
I also found it very unrealistic that when you're in the stadium and the sniper gets you, he gets one shot on you almost like, I believe it was like on his side almost.
It was his arm.
His arm?
Yeah, it was his arm.
I'm
was his arm?
positive he wouldn't have an arm
Well,
after taking that hit.
not only that, I love the fact that he was okay once they put the bandages on. He was like, all right, I'm good to go now.
Well, let's talk about that if it's all right. Because
he might have been bleeding out a little bit.
He was bleeding, yeah, but they actually, as he's walking up, he's kind of like losing blood, and he's kind of like losing it a little bit. But then once he gets bandaged, she's like, all right, rest of the level, let's go. We got this.
Well, okay, so I like that sequence. I like where he's shot and he's wounded. He's like, I've been shot before, but not like this. And it's like, okay. I'm pretty sure his arm would have been off from that rifle and that range and what have you. And from there, you control Max like lingering around, and Passos does, he wraps him up, and then he gives him a full bottle of painkillers, and he just pops him, and boom, he's good to go.
Right.
So it blended the character and the gameplay, and I thought that it worked. And what I really liked was over the progression of the next few levels, you see that bandage, a bloody bandage, maybe loose trimmings, go to a tight bandage in the next one when you're trying to be Splinter Cell Max Payne or whatever. I was going to say Metal Gear, but it's not very Metal Gear. It's more Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I think at one point in the cutscene, it's just a Band-Aid, and the Band-Aid, he takes it off, and he's good to go. I liked the continuity progression of that wound, and I think it's the only wound that has that. Well, no, that's not true at all. I'm sorry. All the wounds have that kind of continuity from when he gets hit in the head here or there, and by the end of it, when he's just completely grizzled, covered in blood, and
he was looking like shit by the end of the game.
Oh yeah, looking like garbage.
And to be fair, he was shot in only his second favorite drinking arm. Direct
That's
quote.
his pill arm. Oh yeah.
I had just been shot in my second favorite drinking arm.
No, the writing I think was good, especially his narratives, which I think is a good segue into this discussion. No, okay. Here's
we're still
one
talking
line.
story. No, we're still talking story.
Yeah.
How can you not say? And you guys, I don't know if you've played all the games, but all the games are written fantastically.
Yeah.
All of those monologues are superb, in my opinion. Hamble, you keep gritting your teeth. Harry had a point. Go ahead.
So I did actually write down one line, and I don't think this was even Max that said it, but just generally speaking, the writing I thought was decent. Oh, who was the oldest brother?
Victor.
Victor.
No, Victor
No.
I think was the middle.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, yeah. So he had one line. Do you think a pile of shit feels popular because it's surrounded by flies? What a good, doesn't that give you a perfect mental image? Just
No.
Of a pile of shit with flies around it.
Well, I'm
Yes,
just
it
saying,
does.
I don't know. It's a really good analogy.
But no,
point in the
that's
game.
really good writing where they really take it to the next step instead of just being your basic generic where you can write any type of bullshit. It's like, oh, you know what? We're going to take a little bit of time and actually put some thought and effort into it, and here you go.
See, I disagree because, at least in the first game, they have lines like, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man's king. They have proverbs and kind of philosophy stuff going on. In this one, he's like, yeah, I was so blinded by the fact that whatever happened, he could have been coming on my sister's tits while I'm looking out the door over this way. It
I think
gets
I missed
to
that
great.
one. I'm not gonna lie. I
He
did
actually
think I missed
said-
that one.
You brought up the one line that I was going to reference,
He
which is
actually
that
says
I wouldn't
something-
know right from wrong if one was being charitable and the other was banging my sister.
Yeah.
That's. I still think that's a good line, though.
Yeah,
I think that's
it
pretty
is
damn
a
good.
line.
But compared to and I know I shouldn't do this, but compared to the first one, I feel like the writing kind of degraded a bit. I wasn't as there were no quotes in this game that I will remember for years like that one versus this one where I can't even get it right about the fucking my sister or whatever like that. I don't have a sister, so fuck you.
Are you trying to say that "you'll walk with a limp" is not a line that you'll remember?
Yeah,
the
no,
last
I
line of the
walk-
game.
no,
I
that was
didn't
good.
even remember that
Oh.
at all.
Oh, I did. And
He's
then
like,
the bone popped out of his...
you know, I'll walk.
There was
I'll walk.
one
yeah.
line. There was one line he said that I thought was a little over the top that actually made me laugh. But when he discovers the whole lab where they're harvesting the organs, he was like, "Oh, they didn't even know they were coming in by the busload and heading out by the bag load." It caught me off guard. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I don't know. It was a very corny line. I think that probably wasn't their top tier writing on that one, but I don't know. I still thought it was kind of
I
clever.
don't know. I think Max and his dialogue, it was a little negative for me. I didn't
Was it a little negative? Max
little bit.
Payne,
No, yeah,
little
a
sad,
negative. It's like, come on,
little dark.
what are you doing?
You know, it's not Katamari Damacy. No rainbow colors or anything like that. Actually, there are rainbow colors in this. What am I talking about? The Hawaiian
There
shirt.
are- yeah.
What am I thinking?
Anybody else have anything with story?
Yeah, anybody?
He had something to say for everything, which I think
True.
he's a little smug with that. Little fucker.
I thought the writing was great for his narratives and just the dialogue. The conversations between the characters, I thought it was all great.
I am surprised he didn't give the killing blow on Victor at the end of the game, though.
I kept pulling that right trigger, which I think this is probably going to come up within like the next through the gameplay and everything else. But where I'll save it. But
Who was that? Was that the dirty cop that you had his
No,
arm and legs are blown
that
off?
was the
You
one
have the
right-
option to pull the trigger to kill him, and I
option.
didn't even catch that I
No,
had a
yeah.
prompt because none of the cutscenes have like
Oh, no.
QuickTime events like that.
it had the dot. It had the
Right.
rectangle
Don't
lock.
Right. By the time I was like, oh shit, I should push the button. It was gone, and he had lived.
Yeah.
Did anybody kill him?
I knew.
I didn't even get him. I didn't even give him a chance to say a single word.
Yeah, I shot him immediately.
Was your ending different? Did you have like a martini glass at the end of the bar scene, and I had a beer bottle because I didn't kill him? Was there
didn't
any
kill him.
difference
Yeah,
in the
no,
variation of
I
the
have
story?
no-
idea.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just let him wither on the ground because I figured
Wither.
he would suffer more
Yeah.
with his arm blown off and his face half burned off. Where
That
just
is
putting a
true.
bullet in his mouth, which the recticle was right in his mouth.
The recticle.
The reticle. The reticle.
You had your rectum right in his
Oh
mouth.
man. Oh boy.
Playing that VR too much.
Eat my dick.
Okay,
How
speaking
about I
on
get
the
you
end
a
of the
spoon
game,
so you can eat my ass?
I want to go back to the end of the game.
how fucking ridiculous was that ending scene where you're just going down in the Jeep or the car or something and just blowing up every fucking vehicle with
Yeah.
a grenade launcher?
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing.
Yep.
I was really excited the fact that I actually had the option to do that because I was going around picking up those fucking golden gun pieces, and the one had the grenade launcher. And at no point throughout the entire fucking game did I get to use a grenade launcher. And then all of a sudden,
What?
I'm
Oh,
at
there is a
Yeah,
point.
I
There's
was-
Yeah,
a
there's a
couple
bunch.
points,
I was
especially
using a
like in the
grenade launcher.
graveyard. You could pick one up because
Yeah.
the guy who's shooting you with a grenade launcher, you could pick it up and then shoot it back.
Yeah.
oh, I missed that. So never mind.
Well, I wanted to go back to what you said about the brother and killing him at the end. I feel like with the whole redemption and everything, it's almost like if Max Payne would have shot this guy and killed him. So I feel like if he would have shot him at the end, he would have. There's no redemption because he's gonna let the guy live and let the system work how originally he should have through all the games. Like he was a cop. He needs to let the system
The
work.
Brazilian system, yeah, that works out.
I
so
know
well.
that-
So it takes 800 bodies to finally let the system finally do its work.
I've killed half this
in this
favela,
case-
but you know what? This guy, they might do something with him.
All right, well, fuck my opinion.
No. Wait. I mean, hold on.
completely agree.
No, Hamill,
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I have to admit that you're right.
I
Not
know.
killing him.
Whoa, mark the
Not
day.
killing him is a form.
I know I'm right. Thank you.
Hamill, I'm just gonna throw in the towel and say you're right.
I know. Thank you.
I know you know.
Oh, just
Thank
kiss already. Come on.
No thanks.
Oh,
I don't like redheads.
yeah.
Oh.
Ginger bitch.
Son of a fuck.
Oh, that's his new nickname. It's not Hamel Cakes or whatever the fuck it is.
Ginger bitch.
Ham sandwich.
Hamel.
Ginger bitch.
Ginger bitch.
Hey, this is Ginger bitch.
You peaked bad there.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It'll stay.
All right, so let's talk about gameplay, gents.
Gameplay.
Bullet time.
Bullet time.
Bullet time
Bullet
is
time.
best
bullet
in this
time.
game.
Go.
Bullet time game review.
The
Go.
The game as a series actually is like the first to iterate bullet time into the game, and I think they knocked out.
Matrix.
What?
The Matrix.
Yeah, I mean,
The
yeah,
Matrix.
that's the movie.
Yeah, movie.
No, I know, but
It wasn't the first game though.
well, The Matrix came out in 1999.
But it wasn't the first game.
And Max, jeez, Max Payne,
The Mad Max.
Max
Mad Max
Payne
3.
came out in 2000, 2001.
Yeah, but
2000.
Enter the Matrix didn't come out until like 2003.
I'm not talking about Enter the
Right.
Matrix.
So
we're
like
talking
so
game.
like I said, Max Payne is the first game to have bullet time in
Yes.
it.
It is, but it's obvious, at least to me, that it was.
I'm not
heavily
saying they're the
influenced-
inventor of bullet time. I'm just saying they're the first game to integrate it in a way that
Matrix. John
the Matrix game didn't come out.
John Matrix.
To be honest, when it came to the bullet time, barely used it.
Yeah, same.
Barely.
I never jumped. I never like soared through the air and do that because I'd always hit the ground and be left wide open.
Yeah.
So I only used it when I was hiding behind something.
And there were points when they just made you use it, and that's, I would say, 80% of the time that I actually used it. Other than that, no.
So you guys just
Not
use the
really.
cover system the whole time?
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Well, then again, with the games that I play, Call of Duty, Gears of War, that's what I'm used to. So that's what I'm used to basing my gunplay off of. So running, jumping, and slow-mo, actually, I found it hindered me a little bit.
Yep.
The first couple chapters, I really didn't use the lunge, but then I was like, oh yeah, I've got this, and I started to use it more and more and more, and I started to have more fun with it. The cover system, it is kind of odd to have that kind of cover in a Max Payne game because the first two had nothing like that.
Yeah.
And it does really feel like a modern day Red Dead Redemption, and you can see sort of the evolution from Red Dead to this to GTA 5.
But was the pinpoint accuracy of the enemies in the first two like it was in this one? Because when you were behind cover,
Do you mean the auto aim?
No. The AI.
The enemies. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, when you would even like blind fire and have your arm out, they would get headshots, and that just pissed me off. Like that's why I hid the whole time and used bullet time only in cover.
Well,
I think-
what difficulty were you playing on?
Normal or hard?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't touch hard. I just went
No, I think I did normal.
You're right. You
Yeah.
wouldn't touch hard. I played normal.
except for one.
Yeah.
I played on normal as well, but the game is more difficult, I would say.
Harry.
Oh, I played normal.
Oh, okay.
But I will say one thing. I played through the first half of the game with the free aim on.
Oh.
But the second half, I just wanted to have fun. I turned it up to, like, the hard lock. And I thought that... I know it made the game a little easier, but I think it made it immensely more fun.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I was actually having a blast with it. I utilized the shit out of the bullet time.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
played with a lot of
probably
bullet time.
overused it, to be honest. That's where I had the fun with. I just wanted to jump around in slow motion, fucking shoot people, and that's how
Why
I
you play Max Payne,
yeah,
I would say.
that
Yeah.
is the reason to play. I don't think I don't know. I found it very frustrating with the free aim, like trying to like move the reticle all the time because some of the guys are like really fidgety.
The recticle.
Yeah.
The recticle.
The recticle. So no, I enjoyed the game more by turning the hard lock on and just overusing the shit out of the bullet time.
Having said that, I kind of think like the vehicle segments, they really didn't do anything for me. The boat chase was kind of like middle of the road.
Kinda
You know,
meh.
when you're in the Jeep or whatever, and you're trying to in the last level, you're trying to get the plane. Like all of it just seemed really mediocre. Like the other stuff to me, gameplay wise, not mediocre at all. The bullet time and the level design, I really enjoyed.
I'll say this just to piss you guys off. The Jeep at the end of this one was better than the Jeep at the end of Metal Gear Solid.
I don't think
had
anybody
so
is
much
arguing
more
that.
fun.
I don't
so
think
much more fun.
anybody.
Even coming from me, I will not argue that.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you're also-
it's
you're
not
also
a.
God
talking
damn it.
about-
It's not even an argument, Hamill.
You're also
Oh,
talking
fuck.
about like 1998 compared to 2012. So
Are we really getting into a debate on this?
yeah, where
No, it's
Hamilton
a-
gets
no
stabbed in
debate.
the fucking
This is a
throat.
serious debate. All right, and pros and cons go. Kidding.
Good job.
Hamill wins by default. Woo!
Well, Hamill is
We all
ginger.
agreed, though. Like,
I win.
So,
we
I
all
win
win.
by default.
We all win. We all win.
we all
in
win.
reality.
Now, Steve, I know you were mentioning the golden gun thing a little bit.
Yes.
I don't know if you're for or against, based on what you said earlier, but I really like that attribute of the game. It made the guns look very, very fake, but I thought it gave a little bit of replay value. Like this was my second playthrough. I played off of my old file,
Oh.
so I already had a couple guns completed playing through this time. So picking up some of these extra fragments that I missed the first time I played through, I was completing. I probably finished like 75% of the guns.
So
This-
how are you able to use the golden guns? Because I
We
only had a couple of them that I completed everything because there was a lot of them, which I kind of liked it because it gave me a reason where I can go from room to room because I'm a loot whore. I really am. So
Got
I
it.
like to search every nook and cranny to see if there's something I can get. And how do you have to beat the game and then you can use
No,
them?
I don't think so. I think when you get all the pieces to the gun, it permanently unlocks that particular
It does.
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whenever an
Okay.
enemy would drop it, you have a chance of picking that gun up. And
Gotcha.
it didn't do anything crazy. It added 10% more damage, and I think there was more ammo.
More rounds.
Yeah, in the gun.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a game breaker or anything. It was just like a little extra bonus. Here, this is what you've earned for going that extra mile in the game.
You know what's the best? When you
What's
get
the best?
you get the double barrel shotguns, golden, and they have 4 rounds in them a piece, and then you dual wield them.
Nice.
That seems like more than 10%, but okay.
Whatever works.
Actually, I think if you get all the golden guns, you get unlimited ammo.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I want to get unlimited bullet time and you just play the entire
yeah,
game.
unlimited
Oh,
ammo,
bullet time.
collect all golden gun pieces.
Oh, there's another reason to play it again. Okay, I got to admit, I liked the Golden Guns bit. It seemed kind of out of place in Max Payne. When I think Golden Gun, I think James Bond, and I think GoldenEye.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, 007,
Right.
GoldenEye.
But I also sort of get the feeling that they were playtesting the game like, we need something to mix it up. Let's throw Golden Gun parts in here, just because. Because everything else is pretty much grounded in relative reality. Could Max Payne really kill 1,000 people and not end up dead? No. But
Yes.
running around collecting golden parts, it gives you time to really take in the environments and to scour the levels and look. And I found a lot of times, right from where you spawn, if you just turn around, or take a couple steps and turn around, or look over here or there, you'd find more pieces. And it did add something to the game. So I definitely liked it.
That's
liked
all
the
it
Golden
takes.
Gun bit.
It puts you more into the actual game itself instead of just being streamlined, where they pretty much kind of put you on a rail. You had
It's linear.
you
Yeah.
had your options to run here, run there, but you had this predetermined path for everything.
Yes.
So to be like, oh, there's this room on the side that had nothing to do with what I just did. I'm gonna go look at it. Oh look, shiny gold. Yoink.
or even the clues. There were tons of clues throughout.
That's
there
true,
were.
absolutely.
That
Yes,
was
thank
something
you,
that I
Clark.
really did like.
Yeah.
Clark, thank you very much for being here tonight. I appreciate that you're here.
no problem.
The clues bit, I don't know about you guys, but the what is it, the retired police officer that you find in the bathroom
tourist.
of the nightclub? The tourist.
Tourist.
I did find him through all points, and I didn't use a
Is there
guide
only
for this
3
one.
parts, right?
I think there's only 3,
Okay.
yeah. I didn't use a guide for this.
Yeah.
The game was straightforward enough that you check all those clues and then you just pause the game and it would show you that you have this many here, you missed these 2, you got this one. It does add to the replayability of the game.
What was his third one? Because I found him twice.
He's in the airport
Yeah, he's in the airport.
bathroom.
What does he say? Because I had a
He
weird.
gives Max a blowjob and you get full health.
Sexy.
A Blumpkin.
I found a man on a toilet that was taking a shit.
No, because
He
he was
came up
talking
and
about
laughed.
his daughter coming in and all this stuff. I didn't know what the payout was. Like if he turned out part of
There
things
isn't-
going on. Like he's
No.
just oddly
There's no payoff,
everywhere. And I thought maybe he had something to do with.
I think he's at the airport trying to pick up his daughter.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's really no big payoff.
oh, that makes sense.
It's just extra content.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did like the clues. Sometimes the game will press you to be like, you know what? He's like, I've got to find so and so. I got to get going. I got to do this. And it's that when you start the game, at least for me, I'm like, okay, does my time actually matter? If I don't get to a certain point, will it change the outcome of the game, or do I literally have 50 hours to get to the top of this building and I could just keep running around in circles and it wouldn't matter? So you have that make or break point, and you're like, you know what? Max keeps saying like, I had to move on, or stuff like that. So eventually it breaks your will and you move on. But to really scour the level for all those bits and pieces, I didn't do all of it. I'd have to play it again and again and again to try to unlock everything. But I like the fact that it was straightforward enough and I didn't need a guide. I didn't have to go to GameFAQs to try to find, where to find these things. I knew if I just keep playing it, I'll eventually find everything.
Right.
Now, one thing that kind of did, I don't want to say bother me a little bit. There's certain points in the game where you are under, a time limit, where you have to get this done in a certain amount of time, and there's other times where you could just run around and pretty much, be at free will. That's something where I found it a little frustrating. I know, like, the biggest one that I had was when you're planting the C4 in the buildings, and you go to the rooftop, and you're making all the way up, and then machine gun guy comes out. I'm shooting at him. He knocks me down, do, my grabbing pills, shooting him in the head again, and then I think I must have failed that at least 5 times before I actually beat it. So meaning there's an actual time limit on that section, but like 5-10 minutes before when I'm running through, I could just go, free will wherever I want to go with that. I found that I don't want to say frustrating, but it was a little bit of a pain in the ass because I didn't know when I was being timed, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you failed.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to do it again. Oh, you failed. Oh, let me try again. Oh, you failed. Fuck.
Do you mean like in the stadium where Passos doesn't have a gun and you have to protect him with a sniper rifle, and if you don't do it fast enough, he'll get shot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Or
I
same thing with the sister of the wife. I wish I had all the character names. Sorry, Giovanna. Thank you. I mean, guys, I know I just talked about this, but I didn't feel that there was a clock ticking for most of the segments.
Not for the most part. There was just certain times where it would just go from you can just go do your own thing for a while, and then there's certain situations where you are under a time limit. And I didn't know I was under the time limit. Obviously, once Passos got shot in the face enough, and like, oh, okay, I got to hurry this up a little bit. Or the building completely blew up and you fall down and you don't see shit going on, but explosions instead failed.
Does that happen? You fall through the building for that mission?
It doesn't show you falling through the building.
Oh, no.
It just shows the entire building collapsing, which I understand. You just planted like 5 bricks of C4. It's going to happen, and you just hit the button right before shit goes down. But it was, I don't know, I found it slightly frustrating, but I get it.
Okay, I was just going to take a second to talk about Max himself and how you play a lot of games where you're like Superman because it's escapism. And when it comes to this one, the fact that Max is so old and grizzled, and by so old, I mean, let's say he's relatively, 50, 55?
He might be in his 40s.
Maybe.
I think he's like late 40s.
He didn't have
Late
a lot
40s?
of gray, unless he
Hard
used some
living.
Just for Men.
No,
Yeah.
I think a lot of that aging is from all the drugs
booze.
and alcohol.
He's really only
all
29.
the booze and pills, all the Kong and
the
rabbit
con.
pills.
But I actually like that aspect. I mean, he essentially is a Superman because all he can just keep popping pills and take as many bullets as it takes. But the actual way that he moved around and just the way that he is designed, I thought it was kind of refreshing. And this is coming from someone who played GTA 5 in 2013 and hasn't touched it since, because essentially Michael is the same thing, and even to a lesser extent, I guess.
Go online.
The online doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. Oh my God, who's the crazy guy in Grand Theft Auto 5?
Trevor.
Thank you, Trevor.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Good old meth head.
Play it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Next game, Grand Theft Auto 5.
I found one for that.
Let's talk about dick shots. Slow-mo dick shots.
Yes.
Oh my God! No, wait, totally. So the
That gets everybody
totally the
on
dick
board.
shots. Oh my God! No, really
Shoot 'em in the dick.
the like pseudo achievements
Below the belt.
below the belt, and all those like how many times you can shoot from cover, and the dick shots by the end of the game, by like chapter 13 or 14, I was totally like, okay, I need another 15 dick shots, and I'm golden. All right, boom, boom, boom.
I think I got it by chapter 5. Dude, my best... I actually paused the game, start cracking up, cheering, brought my wife in to try to show her a replay if I could.
Oh yeah, bring your wife and show the kids a dick shot.
I
Lord.
brought the 2-year-old in. I'm
way.
like, this is what you do. No. During the stadium.
Hamill loves dick shots.
I do.
Hamill
During the
loves
third,
dick
when you're in the
shots.
stadium and you're doing the sniper part.
Gotta get away, baby. There's dick shots here.
I
I really can't stay, baby. There's
Right.
dick shots here. I'm not gonna stop, baby. There's dick shots. Max
Anywho.
Payne 3.
right
is
before the first
great.
time. Just let him finish, Hamill. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I finished.
Right before my first crash, before everything shut down, I was doing the sniper, saving him, and the last guy was running down, and I got that slow-mo shot, and it just happened to go right through his dick, and then he fell over, and you just see the exit wound right through his ass.
Right up Main Street.
I was dying.
Pal right
then,
the kisser.
and then when the power went out and I had to start that over, I was so happy, but I never got that dick shot again. My favorite part of the game. Slow-mo
10 out of 10.
dick
Dick shots all over the place.
The game is gruesome.
Yes.
When it comes
Oh
to
my
like
God,
the whole
yeah.
entry and exit wounds and stuff like that. At one point I got Giovanna shot by one of the snipers, and she had fallen over when they take the shot, and they shot her. You see the entry wound in the top of the head, but she was laying on the ground, and you see it just come right out her butt.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was brutal. Another thing that I really liked was during you always get that, the bullet shot at the end of
When you
like
clear a room?
Yes.
yeah, when you
Rooms-
finally
yeah.
clear a room.
Oh, yeah.
Did anyone just hold down the trigger or
Yes.
fire afterwards?
God.
Yeah, always
and it
use the
just kept
Uzi for that
blowing
one.
through.
Oh yeah, and it just starts lighting them up. And the crazy thing is, almost always he realigns to the head.
Yes. Yeah, I know what
You
mean.
can hit somebody in the kidney or hit somebody in the dick, and then that second bullet is face.
Why did you whisper when you said that? You're like, you hit him in the kidney or you hit him in the dick.
I don't know, man.
You hit him in the kidney. Oh, you hit him in the dick. You hit him in the kidney.
The first time that I did the bullet thing and it realigned to the face and I just obliterated the face, I was like, I can't do that anymore. I just felt
Oh, man.
goddamn horrible about it.
Oh, I thought it was
great
awesome.
about it.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. I would try to aim below the belt only because I heard about the achievement.
Dick
And
shots.
all I wanted to do was
He
be
loves
Butters
his
and
dick
just shoot him in the dick. My biggest thing was I would always hit him through the kidney, which my fiance would always
Oddly
point out because she
specific.
watched me play through most of it, where it's just like, blop, 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 and that last one would just go like through the side of the stomach, just kidney shot, and more kidney shot.
I can't remember if in Max Payne 1 and 2 it has a similar mechanic where when you clear a room, you
Yes.
can just unload on the last person and it's gruesome like that.
I don't think they had that, but it would always do a slow motion of the last person you kill.
So you'd know. Right. No, definitely. There are those instances where it's like, you know what? I probably should save my ammo, but I'm just going to blow
fuck
my
it.
whole magazine on this guy that fell. I'm just going to keep going and going and going and going. Absolutely love that aspect of the game.
Graphics.
All right, guys, let's move right into graphics. This is PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era, but it's late in that era. It's 2012, so they were tweaking the graphics a lot better than they were in, like, let's say, 2006 when the generation started.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think the graphics are all adequate, but some of the character models were a little goofy, a little weird.
A little bit.
Here and there.
I'd agree.
I think Max looked great
He was sexy.
throughout. They probably put the most amount of time, effort, pixels, what have you, just in Max as he's the protagonist of the story. I thought that is it Federico, who's the owner, like the head honcho of the family that gets popped.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, sorry. Rodrigo, I thought looked kind of goofy, and a lot of the other NPCs in the family, I thought they really didn't. Something just didn't look right about them to me. What do you guys think?
I was fine with all of them. I was okay. Nothing. They all look like people. I mean, and none of them look too goofy to me. I was okay with everything. I mean, I wasn't like impressed with anything, but nothing I would say bad about it. It was good.
I would say it's pretty much what I expected.
Yeah.
That would be it.
Yeah.
Where, it's playing a PS3 game in PS4, Xbox One. We're getting into like VR times now.
Mm-hmm.
So
VR
just,
times.
well, I'll even say I was still kind of impressed with some of the graphics, like the end shot where they're showing over the ocean and the waves coming up. It looked really nice. The characters could have used some work, like Serrano. He could have used a lot more work. But I would say for the most part, I wasn't disappointed with it, but not terrible.
I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty good for that generation. The graphics, for just the character models. I mean, we'll get into the other stuff too, but overall, I thought it was good. Harry, what do you think?
There was one part in the game, actually last chapter, no, second to last chapter, when you're breaking out of the police station. Right when the chapter starts, he's leaning up against a wall, and you could see just like the guards coming into the room from the side. There was just something about the way they did his like character design by that point in the game. Maybe it was because he was all banged up and everything, but I thought it looked really good at that point in the game. I don't know. It just like I think it took it to a new level. I don't know if they did extra work at that part of the game or what it was. Or I guess you don't really see him up close from the front too much earlier in the game. But I don't know. Just something about that scene. I just like really took me away. I was like, this actually looks really good.
Cool.
Yeah, I actually think that this game looks like a bad PS4 game. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that, like, it pushes the boundaries of what an Xbox 360 was capable of, or a PS3 for that matter. It was late gen, and I really think it very well done graphically.
It was bridging the gap almost to get to the current generation for
I agree.
that
Right.
sort of thing. All right.
Last push.
let's talk about the elephant in the room. The video filters for all the cutscenes and other
God.
wacky nonsense.
So terrible.
I've heard a lot of negativity about it from not just you guys in that 1 second take right there, but like from other people's other reviewers, how it was annoying. It took them out of the experience. It was distracting. For me, it didn't bother me at all. Maybe it's because I expected it. I knew it was coming. I saw it for what it was and say I see what they're trying to go for. It was a choice for them to do this to sort of immerse you into what Max might be seeing or feeling or just tripping out or whatever. But I'm very curious to know what you guys think.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so that blur effect, where it was like the blue and green and yellow, you know what I'm talking about, where everything was just kind of like wavy. It feels like somebody on the design team discovered how to use this filter.
Got really
And
excited.
it was his fucking shit from that point forward. He's like, no, fucking everywhere. We need it. We need it over here. We need it on this scene. We need it in this part that doesn't even make sense. Like he just like
Lens
found
flare.
this. Yeah.
Lens flare. JJ.
It drove me nuts. Like I thought it was cool if they would have used it on a couple key scenes, but I think they way overused it.
If they kept it a little more subtle, it would have been good. Which I think they really try to overutilize the graphics and just like the little pops. I like when like the words were popping up. I did enjoy that because it added like the little extra bit to try to pick out key points within the dialogue. But it was definitely overused to the point where by chapter 7, it was like, you're really just forcing this down my throat. And I get it where like the static comes
Like a
up.
good porno.
Oh, that wonderful imagery, Steve.
I know. You're getting into the mindset of Max, and I completely get that because for half the game before he shaved his head and everything else, he was drunk and just strung out on pills. All right, that really brought the imagery in, but I really felt like they were trying to lean on that a little too much. And then by the end of the game, they started pulling it back a little bit. You know, by the end of the game, you're already 14, 15 hours in, what it may be. And I felt like it took away from what it really could have been rather than what they were actually using it for.
You brought up a very good point, and that's late game. They start to go away, and they don't come in as much. I thought that was a choice, a dedicated choice for them to show that, okay, Max is off the sauce. He's not... I guess he's still popping pills as much as he always was, because that's the gameplay mechanic. But
Military grade
but
pills.
he's not drinking so much whiskey that he's in a stupor and pissing himself and shit like that. So the filters, the dissolves, the weirdness, it starts to go away. And I really thought that was a thing. And then I'm pretty sure in the last or second to last chapter, they just sort of come back full force.
A little bit, yeah. Where
Did you notice that too, Harry?
You want to try to you want to try to give
it just made me laugh.
you want to try to give them credit. It's
You
like,
trying to say I'm funny? What am I, a clown? Do I amuse you? What is this?
Oh, I'm here for your entertainment.
Dance clown.
Go get your shine box.
Oh, fuck. No, lost complete train of thought. It's all about Goodfellas right now.
Yeah, I know. That's such a good movie. Let's talk about Goodfellas. What do you guys think of the characters in that?
Let's not.
Paradigm shift.
I think Henry was done very well. Tommy, what an asshole. Family of rats. Oh.
For as long as I can remember,
Rats.
I wanted to be a gangster.
So,
Well, with the whole words popping up and everything,
Oh, right, Max Payne 3.
wasn't the original Max Payne almost supposed to be like a comic book style?
No.
Really?
No,
Oh,
it's a
wow,
lie.
that was shut
With
down
like
real
the
quick.
like
No,
the
it's a lie.
different pictures.
It was.
No,
It
no, it's a
was.
lie.
Absolutely
No, it's a
was.
lie.
No, it was. And,
No, it's totally not
and
true.
in comic books, you have the booms, pows, kabows, everything like that,
fucking
and they
with you
highlight
guys.
The
words and everything in there.
onomatopoeias.
Yeah, so they highlight words and all that, and this game it kind of felt out of place because they didn't as much use the comic book kind of
It
feel
was a
to
more
it.
Not at
modern
all.
comic book feel, though.
It was gone.
No, they had certain.
They had certain ones,
Yeah, they
but
did.
they used it so rarely that I was like, why are you even doing the word thing anymore?
I would have to disagree with that.
Do you mean like the loading screens? The loading screens would be sort of in
Well,
different...
no. But even separate from that, but way they would like, let's say two characters are talking at the same time, and, like having a conversation in a room. They'd have like one panel go across the top of the screen, and maybe one come down on the
Yeah.
right
Oh,
or
okay,
something
okay.
like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Like
okay.
okay, it didn't feel like your traditional comic book look,
Right,
but
right,
it
right.
still had that like separate
Yeah.
boxy look going on.
So it was
on
like
the screen.
Ang Lee's Hulk is what you're saying.
I didn't see the first one.
Oh, no?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
Shut down.
Anyway, Hamill, you can't tell when I'm fucking with you? Okay, great. No, there's no comic books in the first Max Payne. No,
No,
not
there's
at all.
no comic books, but
It's not like a comic
feel
book at
and
all.
Everything.
No, it's at a sunny beach. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's how this third one is. It's all sunny beaches, and it just felt totally different graphics wise and
You're
all
right.
that crap.
You're right.
Speaking of comic book, just real quick,
Yes.
go home, look up this meme on the internet, but it shows like the aging of Max Payne, and
Yeah.
it shows him like somewhat of a somber looking man in the first one, the super depressed man in the second one. These are all like illustrations.
Okay.
And then the third one, super depressed, but it also has that filter of the blur over the picture. It's really funny.
Also, like with that filter, if they're trying to demonstrate that he's drunk, when I'm drinking, I don't see blues and greens and everything like that. I see everything kind of like just
Never tried
dragging
absinthe, huh?
on. No.
Nope, never tried absinthe.
But
Get that sugar
I
drip,
feel
boy.
like
Green fairy.
if he's drinking and everything during this and he does have a buzz going on, maybe instead of doing all these flares and having his shit together with that, Harry, is like kind of have things kind of blur out or lights kind of like extend or have a more drunk feel to it and kind of interrupt you that way instead of all these stupid colors.
I think it's supposed to be for the pills and drinking.
Combination
like
of the two.
Yeah, like the combo of the two.
Well, then make them different. I mean, I've never popped pills, and I don't know what that's like, but I've been
Liar.
drunk, and when I'm playing it, I don't feel drunk with Max Payne. I feel like he's tripping balls.
Well,
Well, because he's mixing,
Well, yeah,
Painkillers
I
and
understand
pills.
that, but it,
grabbing pills.
I don't know.
Let's just say that was their choice of how to show it, but is it completely accurate? Probably not. And it's just
But-
it annoys some people after a while. To me,
But-
it did annoy me.
It did not disrupt the gameplay. That's the thing, though. They
Right.
showed what kind of state he was in, like when he woke up on the boat and was saying, this is like the worst hangover I ever woke up with. It's not like you're stumbling around or anything when you're trying to actually play the game, which I think they probably did on purpose just to show where his mindset was at through that little bit of cutscene and then actually let you play the game without being totally inebriated. At least Max. I don't know about you.
no.
My name's Max Payne. When I mix booze and pills, I see multicolors and blurred effects. I don't know who put this stupid Adobe filter on me, but I'm going to strangle the bastard and use his body to escape from this hellhole.
One last thing. I guess
God,
this
Harry,
falls
you
on this-
always have the last thing.
Bitch.
Sorry.
Just never shut up and let us move on. Goddamn son of a bitch. Tip, bop, boop, bop, beep, bop, boop. All right, go
We
ahead.
can stab him in the throat.
So
Nail done.
I showed a video, I guess it was to you and Hamill the other day. I had a glitch in the game. The boss fight where the guy is up the top where you got to shoot out the rafters.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
corrupt cop, I think.
Yeah, like the AC duct. or
Yeah,
whatever, it's
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
fall down on.
When I initially killed him, it didn't trigger the event to end the chapter. I was stuck in that room. I spent like 15 minutes looking around, like, did a key drop or did I not? Do I have to step somewhere to trigger the event? So then I finally was like, okay, I think something wrong happened in the game. So I saved, logged out, logged back in. It took me to this screen where I could just see the environment from the outside. As soon as I took a step, I just fell. I actually have a video on my phone of him just dropping.
Well, I would very much like to see that.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah, I'll show you after the podcast.
Sure.
Um,
That's
Oh, jinx!
that
Both of
brings
you
up a
give me
really good
Coke.
point. Did you guys experience any glitches? I had a couple crashes where I would pause the game, go do something, come back, and it would not recover. But that was just me. I didn't have any kind of goofy glitches. I didn't see any people, any human NPCs flying as birds from Red Dead Redemption or anything like that with this game. I don't know if it's just well patched now at this point, being 2016, but I didn't have any glitches.
I did not download any of the updates or anything else. I just bought the game from GameStop and then put it in my PS3, and that was pretty much it. The only thing that I found was when I played it, because I split it up between 2 days. When I played on the second day, the audio was off, where it sounded like there was static in the background whenever. It wasn't so bad because this was up to the point where he was already in Sao Paulo for a little while, and he was talking to the police officer. But whenever Max talked or there was any type of bass, you would hear kind of like a crackling. I would hear it through my speakers, and then all I had to do was turn the game off and turn it back on again, and it was fine. But other than like actual any glitches, nothing of the such.
Hamill, Clark, anything?
Nope, ran okay.
Just-
other than
just
my
your system.
Xbox trying to blow up.
Yeah, that's a little bit of hardware, not software there.
Xbox explode.
Thank you, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, I didn't really experience anything like that.
Cool.
Music.
All right, let's move right on into music then. What did you guys think of the music?
Oh, I'll tell you how I felt about that. Halfway through the game, I started listening to the radio and everything else. Nothing about this game wanted me to listen to the audio whatsoever.
Just the music. Okay, so the
not
audio,
just
you said
anything.
forget it.
I did
Anything?
not care. I read the subtitles and didn't hear gunshots, didn't care about any of that shit. There was nothing that appeased me in any fucking way. It was just, I wanted to... I played through the whole first disc, listening to everything, and then I was like, I really don't care what you sound like. I don't care what you're saying.
But
music
Max,
in no way, shape, or form had me going, yeah, I kind of dig this, or, oh, yeah, I could listen to the rest of it. It was all forgettable to me.
How is it out of the entire freaking game? This is the most excited you get out of anything is the fucking music.
Because
believe
it
you,
was
Hamill.
so fucking boring.
wow.
I just
Yeah,
listened.
so I'm not gonna lie. If you actually did play that like that, you missed out on probably the most epic part of the game. The terminal has like an amazing song as you run through it.
So one song, I was supposed to listen to 15 hours of shit while I listened to 1
It's
hour.
not shit.
Wow.
I
Easy,
did
Tiger.
not care
God
about
damn.
it.
Hamill, I had
it was
no idea
just
you're such a
boring.
music snob. I mean, how
No,
many
I'm
times
not
do
a
you go to
music
the
snob.
Philadelphia Symphonic Orchestra? I mean,
It's
Jesus
just, it was
Christ.
boring to me. I had
Boring.
no interest in any of the voice acting, none of that.
You didn't like Max's characterization as a voice actor. You didn't
I
like
mean, I wasn't mad at it. It was just I'd rather listen to something else than him.
You'd
drone
rather
on.
listen to Goofy and Mickey try to save Donald Duck while casting a cure spell. You'd rather listen to that than listen to the voice acting in Max Payne and the music.
Yes, I'd rather hear freeze every 2 seconds rather than listen to Max Payne. Or gunshots.
You mean after a 10-minute cutscene?
Freeze! No, but I did not care for the
All right,
music.
well,
It
I
was
have
nothing
to.
for
I'm
me.
just going to stand on my soapbox here and throw my chair at Hamill. I can't say enough about the music that I liked. I mean, they're really, for me, Clark, like you said, you've got a track. I've got one track that I love, and after playing the game just a little bit, I found on YouTube and listened to it over and over again. It's actually used in the stadium, which at first was a level I didn't like, but in the second playthrough, I actually learned to like it a lot. It's called Painkiller. I just really like the beat to it and the way that it builds and the music. I liked the music a lot. I thought it set the tone well. I didn't have any problems with it. It uses the Max Payne theme effectively, but it doesn't overuse it. I mean, if you play the first two games, it's like until you're just like you hear that so much, it's completely overwhelming. But I liked the music a lot.
I think there was some awesome tracks in this game, and I know you briefly mentioned the original Max Payne theme.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody play the pianos?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, yes. I totally forgot about
No, I only found 2. Was there more in the game?
I think there's only the two.
I only played one.
There's the one on the like cruise liner, not the cruise liner, but the one on the private
Boat.
yacht, and then one I guess it's the level where you find the bodies,
Yeah.
the human organ.
That's where he
harvesting.
actually
Yeah.
plays
he
the entire...
completes it, right?
Completes what?
The sequence.
The theme.
Yeah,
Oh.
he actually plays it himself. Yeah, the original one is right before you dive down that banister to do the slow motion. Like, it's the first slow motion. But anyway, that aside, there was one song that really, really stood out to me other than the original theme. I don't really even remember how it goes, but I just remember, like, I'm totally downloading this shit later.
Yeah.
Is the one on the boat.
Okay.
When you come out of the room when they're having the party upstairs or whatnot, and you're just like creeping through the entire underbelly of the ship. There was some song playing there that I was just like, this is phenomenal. This is a terrific tune. And I don't remember how it goes or anything like that, but I think it's worth looking into.
So the entire soundtrack was done by one band, Health.
Really?
Yes. I have like 4 or 5 off of Max Payne 3 on my phone. That's how much I like the music in this. The song that I really liked that's in the terminal is, I believe, called Tears. It's incredible for the moment. It's just like intense. And the first time that I had played it was actually when Harry and I lived together, and I was using his surround sound to play,
shit.
and it was just incredible. Bullets flying all over the place. This like really heavy, like repeating bass line like heavy trance techno. It was awesome. It was an incredible experience. It's the most memorable thing from this game to me.
Another track that I like is, I think, called Pain, because I confused it with Painkiller, trying to find the right track, and I listened to Pain for a little bit and thought that was good. It's very different, though. So we got Painkiller, Pain, Tears. I think we see a theme on the title tracks here. Steve?
I thought it was great background for the entire game. That was something that I really liked because that really sets the mood where if, you have the paramilitary busting in through the doors, it kicked up the energy a little bit. We were looking through, just kind of browsing around. It was a little more mellow. I definitely thought it made a really good environment and background story of its own just for the game itself.
Set the tone.
Yes.
Man.
Hamill, what kind of music do you listen to in your private time?
I
Barry Manilow.
You mean like when I was playing Max Payne?
No, I don't mean that.
Oh, no, I don't want to say, because I know it's going to get trashed real quick.
Oh, okay. You're probably wise to do that. You're probably wise to say that.
T
but,
Swifty.
I'm just curious.
Oh, yeah.
Because
some
Well, I have a
Beyonce.
kid. Of course I'm listening to T Swift. No, I don't listen to Beyonce.
No, you love Beyonce.
Not,
all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, can put your hands up.
All right, so next guy.
Wait, is that the Monkey Man from Silent Hill, or is this Beyonce?
Final thoughts?
The game is fun to play. I really enjoyed the gameplay. The story, I like the first Max Payne, so in this one, it hurts to say I don't give a fuck about him. He's a whiny pity party little bitch.
You don't like any
I'm sorry.
story. My
No,
God.
no,
You don't care about Snake. You don't care about Max.
Fuck you, fuck
If,
you.
if
I
there's
got
more
me.
than 35 seconds of real story,
Real
Hamill does
story.
not like it.
Hamill's gone.
not true.
Out.
But he just, I don't care for him.
60-hour epic of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
You don't even know.
Completely
You
invested.
don't know.
But eat my dick.
But no, like the whole thing, I get where he ended up, but I don't care for the story. I really don't. It's fun. This game, they could have just put me in random places and said, "Hey, go fight stuff," and I would
Arcade
have been
mode.
happier. Yes, which I did not play, or multiplayer. But
Neither did I.
I really do enjoy the gameplay though. It was fun to play. Story-wise was music, obviously turned that off. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. So, graphically, I do like the game. Gameplay, I can't emphasize enough. You play this to use the slow motion and get really awesome bullet time scenes. Like that is the reason to play this game.
Absolutely.
Story, I thought it was good. I'm not going to say it's the best story I've ever witnessed in a video game. And the music, yeah, I think it's good music. I don't think it's the best as well. So I think it's a good game. I don't think it's a top tier game.
You don't think it's a top tier game? Okay.
I'm a big fan of the entire Max Payne series. This is not the best of them. I would honestly say 2 is probably the best when it comes to just everything about the game, story, gameplay. There is something about the gameplay in this one, though, that sticks out in my head. And there's just some really awesome sequences in this that I think stick out from all the games. I enjoyed it a lot the first time I played it. Playing through it again, I made the realization that a lot of my love for this game was nostalgia and not necessarily playing it again. I don't necessarily think it holds up to the standards of what I would play continuously. And maybe it was just wasn't enough time between. Like, if I played this in another 6 years, maybe I'd like get back to really enjoying it. But I really felt like I was like pushing myself at sometimes to finish this game. I do enjoy the game. I liked the game. But again, I think it's just a lot of it has to do with nostalgia and what I feel I owe to the game series as a whole.
Being a first-timer for Max Payne, I did enjoy the game. Obviously, personally, I found some things lacking. Some of the story just seemed to bounce around a little bit, but the actual gameplay itself, I liked it. slow down, shoot people through the kidneys and the dick. How can you not have fun with that? I mean, seriously. The music, which is something that I really do appreciate in games, I felt that it did bring a certain type of ambiance to the entire game, all the way up until the very end, where I start to shoot grenade launchers at jeeps and planes, and do you shoot this guy in the face? Do you want to shoot this guy in the face? You can't, so tough shit. For the entire game, it is something that I'm glad that I did get to play, although I think for playing the third game in the series, I feel like I'm missing a lot, and especially from what I hear from you guys tonight, I feel like this actually makes me want to go back and at least play 1 or 2, because I think that just seems a little more gritty and a little more something that I'll appreciate after being spoiled from all the games I've played up until now, and then now just going back and playing this game. But overall, I'm happy I did get to have the opportunity to play.
Cool. So when it comes to my final thoughts for the game, I know that I've been singing its praises this whole time, but I'm kind of a mixed bag in that some levels really I did have to force myself to get through. And when I stop and think, there are only a few instances that really stick in my mind, because the whole game and the gameplay and the bullet time and everything, it's a lot of fun. And I'm thinking that it's a lot of it is repetitious because it doesn't stick out in my mind. There are those few sequences where you get a special slow motion part and you can shoot multiple people in the game is to see how many you can get before the sequence ends. They stand out to me. But overall, I enjoyed this game a lot. I think that it's probably, if I was going to go back and just like, you know what, I feel like playing Max Payne, I'd probably throw this one in. I probably wouldn't play the first two. I know that that's sacrilege. But especially the first one feels very dated. And having essentially a modern day Red Dead Redemption in terms of gameplay, I know that that's Grand Theft Auto, but for this, I really enjoyed it and felt that this is the one that I'll go back to play again and again. It's probably my favorite of the series, and it's probably one of my favorite third-person shooters that I can think of off the top of my head because I don't play many third-person shooters.
Gears of War.
I don't play much Gears of War.
Gears of War.
I mean, something like Battlefront 2.
Resident Evil 4.
I never beat Resident Evil 4, actually.
The score.
Let's go into the rating, and let's make it as energetic as possible. Boom!
Booyah.
Harry, go.
All right. I'm going to rate this above No Man's Sky, but below Metal Gear Solid. I'm going to give it a 6.0.
Wow.
Okay.
It's good. It's better than average, but just slightly.
Dang.
Because five would be average,
Yeah,
right?
5 would
Yeah.
be my average.
Yep.
I'm going to continue with my arbitrary review.
How many bottles of Kong whiskey?
0 bottles of Kong whiskey. No, I would go 2 empty pill bottles out of 4 empty bottles of Desperado gin, which is also another thing that he prefers.
You know he wrote that down just for this moment.
Desperado, your
Wrote
gin
what
is
down?
so
You were like, all
damn
right, pain
delicious.
bottles. I'm going to use that. And
Do I have anything in my hands right now?
I wish you did.
I didn't write anything down.
Can't tell. Move your right arm around. Just flail it.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't do
That's
that right now.
fucked up.
It's also why I've been silent most of the podcast. I'm in excruciating pain.
Steve, rating.
I would give this a solid C. That's it.
A solid C.
Yeah.
A C plus.
No, no C plus.
Solid C.
I'm gonna
Solid
give it a C.
Concrete. Solid C.
I should have said that when I brought home my report cards. When I was like, hey, look, Mom, I got solid C.
Bam! Put it on the fridge.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the play, but it didn't have anything that really appealed more than another game. That's it. It's C. Don't judge me, motherfucker.
I'm going to say, and this is going to be kind of interesting, because at GameStop, you could get it for $4.99.
Is that right?
That's right. But I would say it's like an $11.99 game. There's a lot of replay value. It is fun to play. I might, if I can get my Xbox to stay on for more than 2 minutes, I might go back and try hard mode or try to, get the collectibles or something.
And really turn up the volume on the TV, too, huh?
No, I'll listen to more podcasts.
Hamill.
Wow.
Hamill.
What?
Give the music a chance.
No.
All right.
So I would say $11.99. So you should go out and if you have the $5, just go out and get it.
I think at
It's
12:01.
For
fun.
the
$11.99.
If you had the $5, go get that $11.99 game.
Hey, Harry, I think you peaked.
What just happened? Broke all the laws of money and economics. And
Hey, Hamill, weren't you a math major?
Yes, but I'm saying this game is worth more than what they're currently selling
I
it
need
for.
it on a
So
pie
it's
graph. I don't understand.
Pick it up.
Venn
God
diagram,
damn it.
maybe.
All right, silence you heathens. My rating is going to be an 80% out of 100, I think, which I guess is a B minus.
It's a C.
An 80?
In today's standards.
You know what?
yes.
Fuck it. It's an 85. It's a solid B.
Oh my god, I hate you so
Steve's
much,
backlash
Ralph.
It's a
just bumped the game
solid B.
5%.
85%. You know what? I think this game is good. I think this game gets a lot of flack, but overall, I think it's a good game. And like I said, it's probably my favorite of this series and the one I'll go back to. So, 85. All right, guys. So that's it for Max Payne 3. Episode 6 is going to be The Last of Us. We're going to go real deep into detail as to why that game is
Terrible.
fantastic. It is absolutely
Terrible.
a masterpiece
Oh,
of
this
piece
is going
of
to be
shit.
game design.
so interesting. It's gonna be a
Well
fun
done,
one.
sir. All right, so what have you guys been playing? Clark, you're up first because you're a jerk.
Because I'm a jerk.
Because you're a jerk.
I've been playing a little XCOM 2. I've been playing Killing Floor 2 as well.
Killing Floor 2.
Yeah, it just came out. I have a few friends that just picked it up. So I've been checking that out. I've really only played one game of it so far. It's pretty interesting. It's mostly just an arena shooter with different classes, cosmetic items, things like that. It's kind of cool.
Cool. Steve, go.
I've been playing Max Payne 3, and
Really?
that's about it.
I gotta
Yeah.
say, that's kind of sad that you fill your free time with a solid C of a game.
Thank you. That is my dedication to you,
Dedicated
you,
to concrete.
you, and everybody out there. So you're welcome.
Hamill, go.
Let's see. I've been playing Star Ocean, Faithlessness, and Integrity still. I'm actually getting really deep into that game now. I'm probably not even a quarter of the way through, but
So deep.
so deep. But
Did
I
you say you're getting like fully deep, like a full 2 inches?
like, and I've just been getting into that a lot. I played Eve Valkyrie. I got that for a day-ish. It was fun, but it's mostly a multiplayer game, and I didn't really care to invest too much time in it. Maybe Destiny a little bit, but I'm kind of getting out of that.
You have no destiny.
No, I don't.
Savage.
I'm your density.
That's about it, I
Which I
think.
do have to add.
What?
I finally got to play the kitchen demo on PlayStation VR.
You did.
Oh my god, if I didn't almost pee myself. It was terrible.
Steve, I don't think you pee yourself because you take about 8 pee breaks in a 4-hour span, so I
Hey,
think
Ralph,
you're good.
eat a dick. I don't care.
I prefer
I
not
gotta pee
to
when I
eat.
gotta pee.
Harry, go.
Ooh.
All right, so I don't think I've played a whole bunch besides Max Payne 3. I think it's been quite a bit of XCOM 2. I actually lost my first campaign, so I had to restart the game.
What a bitch.
And then
Were you saving as you go or no?
Yeah, I was saving as I went.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know all the mechanics of the game yet. So by the time I got so late stage in the game, I just lost all momentum.
I had a similar experience, actually. I
It's
got
just
you.
like, and I don't know, at that point, it's just better to start over. So I did let it time out and watch the end of the game if you would lose, so I got to see that part of the game, but hopefully I won't have to see that again.
Harry got the bad ending.
And then besides that, I've been playing a lot of Titanfall 2. I tend to go back and forth between the two games.
I've been playing 7 Days to Die, a little bit here and there. I usually play with my cousin online, but he has been too busy, so I just started my own campaign. And to play 7 Days to Die on like a closed server it's not really the way it's supposed to be experienced, but there were so many updates, and I was just reacquainting myself with how the game was updated. You can sink so many hours into that game. I don't know if you guys have played it at all.
Do you play that on PS4?
No, I don't.
or-
I play it on PC.
Ah, damn it. Adult Minecraft.
It sort of is, because there are zombies and the whole thing, It's an interesting game. You guys should give it a shot.
Oh, I remember seeing about that. That actually looked interesting.
Yeah.
That game.
Welcome to the conversation, Harry.
No,
Hi,
I
Harry.
was trying to picture like what game is he talking about this entire time, and it just clicked for me.
It is
So-
it is
Harry, basically, you start naked and you can collect a rock, and you use a rock.
Sold.
You use a rock on a tree to get a stick, and then you put the stick and the rock and grass together to make an axe, and then from there you can build a house. You can build this, you can build that, you can loot parts, you kill zombies, and every day, every day that goes by, on the 7th day, that night there will be a zombie horde that attacks your location. Anyway, that's 7 days to die.
Did you break the game? Is that what
No.
you're saying?
No, I didn't really break the game. There are segments where it's like an open field and there's a desert and then there's a snowy region and there's just like an abandoned city. And if you go into the city, there are skyscrapers that you can they're damaged and you can repair, the floors and do whatever and just try to survive. I've also been playing Faster Than Light, which is an indie title that I got not that long ago, and it's a game where essentially you have one life and you have a ship and you have to get to a certain point in the universe, and you can't save your game, so you get a random crew and then just shit ensues. It's like episodes of Star Trek where you go into one quadrant and an alien will beam aboard and say, "Hey, I'm here to help you," and then you go into another one and then like they attack you, and it's a small little indie title that's a lot of fun, good soundtrack. Graphics aren't really that impressive, but. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, you can find us on Facebook at Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go, on Twitter at Super Fun Podcast. Yeah, there's random goes all over the place.
Go!
Feel free to email us.
Go!
You can Twitter us. You can twatter us. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We will have an Instagram soon. You guys can find us on there.
Go.
He's really going to snap Hamill. I can't wait.
Think we're good to go. Guys,
Go!
We're good to go?
Go.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Go. Go.
All right, thanks, everybody. Bye.
Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over.
Thanks for listening to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. Stay up to date on current contests on Facebook.com/SuperFunPodcast.